Hey everybody, it's Pastor Cushman again, and we are entering into the second week of this shutdown craziness and whatnot, and I know a lot of you are really starting to struggle now. I've heard it from a number of people. Last week, parts of it was kind of fun. It was new, a little bit exciting, this just different world we're living in, but this week, reality is really starting to set in for a lot of people. It doesn't help that the weather is a lot worse than it was last week, and I think just the length of time that this thing is going to last is starting to sink in. Rachel just ordered a basketball hoop for the boys that we're going to put up in the backyard, and she said that it would be delivered on March 30th, and at first she was like, oh, we have to wait so long to get it March 30th, and then she realized, oh wait, there are another 28 days at least after that the kids are going to be out of school, and just something like that, just kind of bringing it all into focus of what this all looks like and how long it's going to be lasting for. And the thing is, we're all experiencing it differently. I was talking with my sister on the phone yesterday, and she was talking to me about the hardships of trying to do school for my niece, and she said, and it's one thing just to do that, but then got my nephew, and he's, causing trouble over here, doing whatever, and that sort of struggle. And something I realized, and I said to her, I said, one thing that's important to realize, your frustration might be somebody else's envy. It might be kind of weird to think about it, but think about that. Your frustration might be somebody else's envy. I've had a crazy busy schedule this past week, running around trying to figure out what church is going to look like. Now filming videos, delivering DVDs to people. But you know what? I've left the house. Rachel really hasn't. A lot of people have not had the chance to get outside of the four walls of their house. We've got 4 kids. It is busy in our house, and we are just feeling on top of each other, and there's bickering fights that happen here and there, but you know what? There are a lot of people who wish they had other kids for their kids to play with. My 4 kids have each other to play with, or some people wish they had kids, period, at their house to be entertained by. And so you might feel cooped up at your house at home with your kids, but there are other people who have to work who would love to be at home with their kids right now. And none of this makes what you're going through any easier. I'm not trying to dismiss any struggles, big or small, that you might be facing, but I think it just helps to put things into perspective when we try to imagine things from somebody else's perspective. I think it's important, to try to view things through other people's eyes. Yesterday we were playing some family games, and Wiley, our 6-year-old, he's probably struggling the most with this. He's 6. Can't fully comprehend, everything that's going on in the world around him, and we're just here. And so he's really struggling, and it was really starting to come out in the games we were playing, and Lucy, our 13-year-old, she just, was snapping at him from time to time, and eventually I turned to Lucy and I said, Lucy, he's 6, he's really struggling with this right now. He's never been through something like this before. He doesn't need his 13-year-old sister snapping at him. Doesn't help. It's only making it worse. And that's when that God voice, you remember from the toilet paper conversation from the video last week, that God voice in my mind said to me, Nick, she's 13. She's really struggling with this. She's never been through anything like this before. She doesn't need her father snapping at her. Doesn't help. It's only making it worse. And I just had to stop and think about that. And it's not the only time I am going to need to hear that, to see how my kids are handling this and try to view it from their perspective, or my spouse, or other people in the parish, or in the community. And it made me think of what the Apostle Paul wrote in Ephesians chapter 4. He writes, I therefore, a prisoner for the Lord, urge you to walk in a manner worthy of the calling to which you have been called, with all humility and gentleness, with patience, bearing with one another in love, eager to maintain the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. And I've obviously heard that passage plenty of times, and usually in the past when I've thought of it, I've always thought of it, for dealing with other people, like at a little bit further away. How do I interact and handle people, outside of my family, maybe even outside of my congregation? Am I humble? Am I gentle? Am I having patience with them? And it was just a great reminder that I need to have that at home as well. And so you can maybe relate to that. Maybe you've had a time or two that you've snapped that you maybe shouldn't have. Be patient with one another. Be patient with yourself also. Before I go, I do have one favor to ask. I've been posting these videos on YouTube and then sharing them on Facebook and whatnot, and I would love it if you would go over to YouTube and subscribe to our channel. It really helps. If we get to 100 subscribers, we're able to have a custom URL. That means, like, when I'm talking on the phone with my grandma, I can say, instead of saying, "Hey grandma, go to youtube.com/UF2J $4275, just this random string of letters," I could just say something like, "Go to youtube.com/Mount Olive Forest Grove," and she can find that and see her, her grandson posting videos and doing stuff. And I realize not all of you might know exactly, might not be super familiar with the YouTubes, but so I did another cool little graphic here. So like, if you pull up on YouTube, you'll see like, oh yeah, here's the video, and the play button's over here. Over here, there's a little button that says subscribe, and if you see on that one, it says subscribed because I have already subscribed. So when you see the YouTube video, if you could just make sure you hit that subscribe thing. You probably already have a Google account, hopefully. If not, ask your kid, ask your grandkid, because it could be cool. And while you are over there, do me another favor and smash that like button. That one's for you, Kendall. But yeah, so the more these videos are liked, shared, they raise up in the playlist, whatever, all that fun stuff. But it helps. When you see these videos also on Facebook, go to the church's Facebook page. Make sure you like it there so you're able to get other updates we're putting out. And share the videos so that if there's somebody else in the church who hasn't seen the church Facebook page, they might be able to see it as well. Another way of sharing it is just through basic email. I was delivering videos on DVD on Sunday afternoon, and I delivered it to a member who's 92, 93 or something, and he said, "Oh yeah, I saw the first one." I said, "Really? How'd you see the first one?" And it was because when I sent a large email out, letting everybody know that the services were canceled, I included a link to that video, and even though he's not on YouTube or on Facebook or whatever, he was able to follow that link and watch the video. So that's another way to share it with people who have a computer but aren't regularly online, so that they can get these updates as well. But I just wanted to again thank you for all of your prayers and encouragement throughout this time. We're continuing how to figure out how to do ministry and minister to the needs of others during this time, and to maintain contact with everybody. Don't forget to, if you have any cool stories from this craziness and whatnot, whether it's neighbors helping neighbors or just some sort of thought that you'd like to share with me or with others, send it to stories@mountolivefg.org. And also, if you are in need of anything, please contact me, contact the church. We want to be there to help you. But as always, stay safe, stay sane, and God bless. Love you guys.